All right, today, let me fix that a little bit. Today I'm getting on here to show you how I do my jugs. Got some plans for this weekend. Gonna try some jug fishing. Weather's supposed to be decent enough, but if the wind's as bad as it was last weekend, then I won't be able to stay on the water. Last week we went out for a little bit, got blown around by the wind too much. It became a little too unsafe to stay on out there because the water got too choppy. So me and the boys packed up and left. Got nothing while we're out there besides a headache. Could not stay still. I don't have a spot lock trolling motor, nor do I think it would have mattered. Every time we'd stop to try to cast, we were just dragging. So I did not have any bait to run the jugs. It would have been a perfect time to just go out and throw out some jugs and see what we can get. At least see what the catfish were doing this early on. But yeah, I'm pulling out all these jugs here. If you don't know what jugs are, I will explain that. But I keep them in the boat, keep them ready. In the state of Ohio, depending where you're at, what body of water says how many you can really run. It's usually off how many acres. So, yep, I'm just switching mine out from the old nylon line that I used to hand tie all these. Ended up putting a big old hook, and then I think that's 5/0 or so. Put a swivel on there and tie these up to another one that was attached on here so I can quickly take them on and off as I caught something. I've had that way for a few years now, 3 or 4 years. But this year, I'm going to switch these out so I don't have to hand tie nothing. I was trying to be cheap before to find out it actually cost me more to do that. So if you were planning on making these, I will save you the hassle of finding out that it costs too much to do it this way. And the cheapest way, you can go right on Amazon. I'm going to switch to these. It is literally a steel line. Well, I'm not sure what it's made out of, but I already got a hook already on them. Pre-done up lines. And the last. I got 300 of them. Probably won't ever use them, but they're different sizes. I got 3s, 4s, and 5s, and I like these hooks. Love these hooks. And yet, if you go to Walmart, want a little pack of those, you get, I think it's 4 for like $3. And yet, I paid $12 a pack, where you could get them in bundles of 50, 25, 50, or 100. So I have 300 altogether, and I think I spent like 30-something bucks. So maybe. And then I also am switching out to a little brighter and quicker for changing out these hooks on here, because as you can see, I have these on here. So these, I would just take the swivel pieces off like that so I could change out my hook and all. If these ever got snapped, which we lost a lot of catfish last year because these things would snap, even though it's 50-pound line, and on line made for doing trot lines, and it's a 100-pound test. But I'm going to switch these out. I'm going to put these other little swivels on here because the other ones have a circle for the new lines I'm putting on. So these will be quick to change out. And I did not tie these on. And if you make these, do not tie these on. You want to be able to adjust these from height. So I have one here about a foot down. I have another one with the hook on it. And then another foot, I have my weight. So what you want is your weight down. You want your bait off the mudded bottom. And you want to be able to just grab these and adjust the height. So with this one, you can literally just pull them through. Well, if my line wasn't twisted on there. But you want to just be able to pull these through and adjust them how you want, whatever depth. Me, where I go catfishing out there at Tappan, there's a designated area beyond the pipeline. Everything on the other side of that bridge, you can jug fish. And I'll throw that over there. And it's only about 6 to 8 foot in most spots. Well, I think the average is around 6, but it gets down to 8. But I made mine about 8.5 feet long for the whole line all the way to the jug. It's about 8 foot. And then I put the weight on the bottom, of course. And about a foot up from that, I will put my first hook attached to it. And then about a foot above that one, I'll put another one. And you will see plenty of times where we double up on some of these. So this weekend I'm going to go out, see what's going on. We don't have lily pads out there. Last year, they would just tangle up in those lily pads and you'd had to fight them out of there. But I feel like that's how they help themselves snap them off, is they get tangled up in those lily pads and keep putting pressure on that and snap those lines. So I lost a lot of hooks. So this year, hoping not to, going to switch out to these. I'm going to switch out to the wired lines. And I want more catfish. I got a couple packs left in the freezer where we fillet them on out. I know not a lot of people like catfish, but I'm telling you, I hated it. But until I found out I was doing it wrong. Just most people just bread them up and throw them in a frying pan. There's many different ways to go and make them up and different seasonings they make. And one of the main parts is when you're cleaning them, you want to make sure you get that mud vein out of there. And, you know, there's just a lot of different ways to cook them up. And I was throwing them to the side like, nah, not today, you know. And now I don't want to pass up any chance to get a catfish. Unless, you know, it depends on the size, of course. We don't keep just anything. And if it's real big, it's more fatty than that. Some people like that. My side, nah, not really. I was told if I got one this year, you know, keep it. I'll show you how to go ahead and do it. And I might trust that buddy on that one. But I also don't want to get rid of the good breeders down there. Because you want to keep having a good year. So, and I know some people that keep all those little babies and go ahead and say, I can make a sandwich out of that. It's like, don't keep the babies. Throw them back. Let them grow. You can always catch them again toward the end of the season. Give them some time. But this is how I make mine. I take a 1-inch PVC and a pool noodle. I cut down that pool noodle. I think this one's about a foot. Just, yeah, about 10 inches, I guess that'd be. And then these are about 16 inches. And I put the caps on. Yes, glue them to keep the water out. It will help it float. And then I drill a hole in the bottom. Whoop. And I put a little eye hook in that. That way this can move around and not tear up on your line. You're good. And then I tied a couple good knots on there and I actually melted this. This will actually melt together, fuse it into one solid piece. That will not come off. I have never had one of these snap off of there. If you do, then you had a giant. But I have never had one snap off. They are good. And a 100-pound line on there. And then some people will put 3-4 hooks on these all at once. I don't like chancing that. I like knowing there's one or two. So I don't go to grab a catfish off there and it's kicking around and put the other hook in you. So 2 is enough for me to keep my eyes on. You do as you wish, or check your state codes. Your here ODNR. You know, I don't see where it restricts you on how many hooks to a jug. Did not see something about that. Just saw how many jugs you can have based off the size of the body of water you're in. And some lakes have different rules. Like I said, Tappan Lake tells you have to be beyond the pipelines bridge pretty much. That side of the lake is where you're allowed to jug. You can't just go out there and drop jugs where people are, you know, tubing and jet skiing because, well, this can get torn up in someone's prop. The only other rule also in Ohio is you have to have your license number for your hunting and fishing license and that on here. It's all the same for us. Or you have to have an address on there. If you just have a random jug out there and you're caught without having a marked jug, you get fined for that. And if you also leave them out over 24 hours. So if a game warden comes by, puts something on that jug, and then comes back the next day and still sees that jug's there, or, you know, you can tag it and tell you, hey, you're supposed to call and let them know, hey, yes, I'm retrieving it, and it's this time. Just so they know that you're being responsible and gathering it up. But again, if it does not have an ID number, you get a ticket. And if it doesn't have an ID number and you're not there, they will just take it. So you're just out gear. My suggestion to you is make sure you mark them, because if they stop you and you have it on your boat, why take the chance of getting a ticket? But that's 3 of them. I got too many of them. But again, at Tappan, I can run as many as I want. We've had it to where me and my boy went out there, and my oldest, and we could not keep up. Every time you turn around to get one baited back up and throw it back in and get your catfish in the live well, or, well, with him, live well and sometimes a cooler we take. But you see another one running. Another one just starts pulling, and you can see him moving. So I love these things. These, if you want catfish in your freezer, these are the best way. Instead of going out 6, 7, 8 different times and fighting to get anything, this is the perfect way to just go out once or twice out of the summer and fill your coolers and get some in your freezers for any fish fries or just camp trips or anything. Sounds like the wife's home. So, but yeah. Stay tuned, I'll give you an update here. Let me see what she's got going on, and I'll be right back. All right. I'm back. But, losing train of thought. But when you make these, when I told you 1 inch, check the size of your pool noodle. I made the mistake of grabbing the thinner stuff when I made my second batch. That these ones slide. I don't like that. Don't know. Don't know if you can notice, but some of them started to get pulled in there. When we got bigger catfish on there, they had enough pressure to pull that in. So we almost lost them entirely. So make sure they're like this. You know, they'll spin in that, but they're pretty tight on there. That they will not slide over the caps. It is the cap is too big, or I'm just too weak. But they grab a lot better. So keep an eye out on that. Don't know if I pointed out about bait and that, but we run, shrimp. I've seen some people doing chicken breast and chicken livers, but chicken breast cut up into chunks with Kool-Aid. A like cherry Kool-Aid. Let me know if you've used that. I want to know how that works. I have not done it. It was something I watched on another Jug video. I think I seen that on a Flair video. If you don't know Flair, go check him out. He's one of the Guggen guys. I like the channel, but I believe it was his that I saw him cutting up on a truck bed and on the tailgate. I believe it was in a Walmart parking lot. I'm pretty sure it was a Flair video. But when it comes to the jugs, I've been, like I said, been doing it for a few years now, but I'm starting to see some of those same guys on those. LFG. So if you look that up, it's Lake Fork guy. Or is it Fork? Fork. I'm pretty sure it's Lake Fork in Texas. But his is a great channel, and he runs jugs. He's got a different design. You might like his design. I find these to be a lot more durable, longer lasting. Like I said, about 3 or 4 years, and yet I got a little fray there. So I'm going to cut that back, tie that one on. Always check your gear before you get ready to go out for the season. And like I said, do not tie these. I mean, I can just literally just push the wire back up through there. The line, not wire. I'm thinking wire because my hook's in front of my face. But literally do that, fold this up around it, and take that off. I mean, perfect. Still got a little twist. But in that same spot, I'm going to get the next one on there. I should switch some of these to heavier weights because the wind we've been getting so far this year. I am going out a little earlier than usual. Usually I wait until the lily pads and that are all out, but I just want to get out there and see. I mean, some people are getting some good fish so far, and yet I like to go on out and get some catfish. Like I said, getting pretty low. I like to get some crappie too, and there's a good crappie lake here. I don't know if I mentioned in the other one, but Mosquito Lake, I think I did when I showed the flooding video. Mosquito Lake is supposed to be a really good lake in Ohio to go for crappie. And what was the other one? Autumn Lake. And they're both not too far from me. It's a little over an hour. I think it's like an hour, 20 minutes to get there. Yeah, I think that's what it was, roughly. So not too far of a trip. And by the looks of it, it's going to be worth the trip because I want to go out, do a couple days, and just fill everything I can for some crappie too. But this weekend, the goal is mushroom hunting and catfishing. So that's going to be fun. And if you don't know about mushroom hunting, I'm not sure how many states actually do it, but morel mushrooms is a big thing here. And they only sprouted up for a little bit of time. I should grab my scissors. But they only sprout for a little bit of time, so you got a limited amount of time to get them. After that, they start to rot. Literally a couple weeks worth. With the off weather we've been having, I thought it was still pretty early to be going for them, but now I'm finding out a lot of people's already been getting them, and we only got a couple more weeks for them. So I'm behind, apparently. Whew. Let me get this one tied back on. Like that. You know what? It'll be alright. It's got me this many years. Ooh, now let's just get back in that hole. Whew. Yeah, come on. Yeah, we're just gonna retie that one. String just is fraying more and more now that I got her undone. So we're gonna redo that one and set that to the side. Wow. So, well, I'm going to go ahead and do these. I don't think you want to sit here and just watch me tie these all up. And, battery's already low. Tried this enough times. Should just get these things charged up. But I'm going to pull in some shrimp, and we're going to do some jug fishing. Again, if you have any questions, put them in the comments. If you got a better design, link your video in the comments. We'll get some traffic your way, hopefully. But I like to see what you got. I like to see new ideas. I've seen a lot of different tricks in that. Some people run little chicken wire and stuff into these, and then use that to where they can spool this up on the little hooks that they'll put in these and go back and forth. I just wrap it around this, right around the pipe, and that eye hook keeps it from slipping off too. Those caps, if you got big enough ones, I guess you could probably do it, but I don't like that. So got too many like this. So let me know. Let me see what you got. Post it, pix it, link it, whatever you gotta do. Like and subscribe so you can stay up on the next video. If you want to see if we got any success, you'll see how these work, and I want to see if we get anything this early on in the season. Thanks for watching.